Hello everyone, your favorite retired streamer, Wolfie here, coming at you with another one. Now, this one here, what we're going to be going over are 10 mistakes that new streamers make when they first get into streaming. Hopefully, if you've gotten into streaming, hopefully you haven't made these mistakes, but they're quite common, and we're going to be going over these mistakes there. Now, before we do hop into it, a little about me in case you're watching this video and you think to yourself, who's this guy? Why should I listen to him? What does he know about streaming? Well, I actually used to be a Twitch streamer, and I did it full time. Like, I made my living being a Twitch streamer. I was partnered on Twitch, and around the time that I did stop streaming, I had a total of roughly 30,000 followers. So if you're wondering why this guy, well, there you go. I just gave you a few reasons right there. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop on into it. 10 mistakes that new streamers make. And also, before we do hop into it, one last thing. Got a ton of videos on my channel. If you're curious about anything that has to do with streaming, I may have made a video on it in the past, so be sure to head on over to my channel once you're done watching this video. Possibly subscribe, check out some of those videos, as they may answer some other questions that you have regarding streaming or things that you may be wondering. Streaming tips maybe? I do have some videos on streaming tips. This one is technically a streaming tips kind of video, isn't it? Yeah. So first point here, number 1, 10 mistakes. Buying expensive equipment thinking it'll lead to your channel growing and being successful. Now, I see this so often. It's such a common thing. There are so many people who have this mindset that when I buy so-and-so, this super expensive upgrade, or if I buy this before actually streaming, then when I do stream, the viewers will start just rolling on in. Our view count will be way up there. We'll be like ninja on Twitch. We'll have a ton of viewers. I'll be raking in all this money. That is such a common idea among new streamers, and I have an entire video actually dedicated to this specific topic. So if you'd like to see that, I'll have it pop up in a card somewhere, and I may put it in the description of this video as well. But to make this one short here, this point, it doesn't make your stream, and it won't lead to you growing and being super successful on Twitch. So buying expensive equipment, yeah, I wouldn't suggest doing that. I'd recommend starting small, and as you go along, you can upgrade along the way. As maybe your income rises from your job, you have leftover income, or maybe you start making some income from your stream. Then you could upgrade as you go along. Don't just start out buying the most expensive thing out there thinking it'll lead to your success as a streamer. So next up here, we have testing out your stream before your actual stream. So what I mean by that is doing a test stream before your stream, or when you do stream, make sure that everything is working fine before you go along with your stream. Because if you don't do that, and let's say you don't have any viewers, the few viewers that may possibly pop in, if they pop in and they see that you're having some kind of technical issue that you're completely unaware of, well, they don't really have a reason to tell you about it, because they don't know you. They're just popping in to check out a stream. They don't have a reason to let you know there's a technical issue. So you may want to hammer that little detail out before you actually get on with your stream. Just make sure that the video is playing fine, your audio is there, it's not completely cut out from the video. Sometimes that can happen. You want to check these things before going on with your stream. That way when someone does come in, you won't have these issues going on, because not only may someone pop in and see this happening and then leave because of it, but there's the possibility that you just lost a possible new viewer that may have stuck around for maybe your next few streams, or a really good friend that you might have made. Now, sometimes people will say things, but there's really no reason for them to say anything because they're just clicking on random streams. They don't know you at all. So be sure to check your stream before getting on with it, making sure that you don't have any issues, and then you can move on with streaming like normal. Some people actually like to open their stream in another window besides them, and they have it there and they occasionally check it as they're streaming. So that's something that you could possibly do. Maybe if you have a laptop or something, you could have a small window with your stream in it so that you can always double check to make sure you're not having any kind of technical issues going on at the time. So let's move on to our next point. Number 3, follow for follow. Please don't do this. I see this all the time where there are people going around and they're posting everywhere. They're like, hey man, follow for follow, subscribe for subscribe. Yeah, don't do that. Not only is it against the terms of service, which means if Twitch recognizes that you're doing follow for follow, they may possibly delete your account. Not only is it against the terms of service, but it's kind of going down a dead-end street. And what I mean by that is follow for follow doesn't really get you anywhere in terms of making it on Twitch, so to speak, or building up an audience. It doesn't get you anywhere because if someone follows your stream, sure, your follower count goes up, but what's the point of a follower count when no one is actually watching your stream? Unless maybe followers do mean a lot to you, and it doesn't matter whether you have someone viewing your stream or not. But like I mentioned, it is against the terms of service, so because of that, I would suggest avoiding it. You don't want to lose your account one day after, let's say you do end up doing follow for follow and you get 1,000 followers doing it, and then Twitch finds out and they're like, you know what, we need to delete this account, and all your work, it's gone. So I would suggest not doing follow for follow. Don't do that. So moving on to our next one here, number 4, advertising your channel in other streams. Now, a lot of people may not understand what exactly is the mistake here, or what's the problem with doing this. Advertising in other streams, it's actually quite rude, and it's very off-putting. And, well, let me put it this way. No one in that other stream is going to want to come and actually check out your stream when they see you advertising in another stream. Now, if you're wondering why and you don't understand why they wouldn't come and check you out, well, think of what you're doing. Let me explain it with a scenario. So let's say there are 2 stores, right? We'll say two computer stores, right? There's computer store A, and then there's computer store B. So let's say your computer store B and the streamer whose stream you're advertising in, they're computer store A. So they're A, you're B. Okay, so going back to the computer store thing, if these computer stores were next door to each other and computer store B one day went into computer store A and they took their business cards and they put it right on the desk, the front desk of computer store A, with their number and everything on it, and it advertises their computer store. Do you understand what the issue is here, what the problem is here? That's a very rude thing to do. And let me tell you, if people are going into computer store A to get computer work done and they see that, they're not going to check out computer store B because they're there for computer store A. And well, like I mentioned, it's a very rude thing to do. Computer store A might look at you and say, I can't believe this person has the nerve to come and advertise their store in mine. I mean, I pay for this space. This is my business, which I set up, and they're coming in here and they're advertising their own thing on my property. That is one of the rudest things that you could possibly do when it comes to business and being neighbors with someone. So I would suggest not doing that. If it's something you've done in the past, you can move on, you can always apologize, but please don't do that moving forward. It's gonna hurt you a lot in the long run rather than be something which actually helps you out. Please don't do that. So our next one here, and that was number 5, number 6, dumping your Twitch link pretty much everywhere when it comes to social media, other places. Yeah, just taking your link and just dumping it here, there, everywhere. Retweet bots, channels. You just take your link and you do that every single time. Now, this isn't really going to get you anywhere if you just take your link and you dump it somewhere, because there are probably a million other people out there who are doing the same exact thing. And well, let me put it this way. Have you ever clicked on a link that you've seen someone dump somewhere randomly without any effort really? They just click on tweet or post. Have you ever actually done that yourself? Why would you expect someone else to click on that link when you've never done it yourself for another link that you've seen? So yeah, dumping your link everywhere, it's really not going to help you in the short or long run. It's not going to help you whatsoever. So I'd suggest not doing it. It actually might hurt you, because if someone who did see your link somewhere one day ends up popping up on your stream and they remember they saw that link, well, it is kind of off-putting that you're just tossing your link everywhere out there without too much care about it. So yeah, dumping your link everywhere, I'd suggest avoiding that altogether. Don't do it. Moving on to our next one here now. Number 7, playing a saturated game and then complaining that no one is coming into your stream. So first off, if you don't know what saturated means, basically what that means, when something is saturated, it's filled, it's to the brim, it's that there's a lot inside of it. So if you're playing one of the most popular games on Twitch, or even the top 10 most popular games on Twitch, and you're expecting to grow your stream doing that, well, I've got some news for you. That may not end up happening, because if you go into any of those top 10 games on Twitch, Mixer, Facebook, whichever one it may be, how far down do you actually have to go to get to your stream? Yeah, you get where I'm coming from with this. If you have to scroll really far down, have you ever gone into any one of those sites and scrolled all the way down to find streams that are besides yours in the directory? If you haven't, why would you expect someone else to do that? Now, I know on sites like Facebook as of right now, that may not be the case. Maybe you do want to stream in the top 10 because it's not exactly like, let's say, Twitch, where you're continually scrolling down, but on Twitch for certain it's gonna be that way with the top 10 games. So I would suggest not playing those games and then one day complaining, saying, why am I not growing? No one's coming to my stream. Well, you know why. And I believe I've made a video in the past on Twitch versus Mixer, which one you should stream on yourself. That may be something you'd be interested in checking out. So I will have that link somewhere. I'll have a card pop up and you can go ahead and check that out if you'd like. So our next one here, and this is number 8 now, getting close to the end of our list. Number 8. So let's say maybe you're getting viewers in your stream and they're not following your channel. They're not really saying anything in chat. Why could that be? Well, number 8 is maybe you're just not entertaining. Now, I know that may sound a little harsh, but the thing is that when people first start getting into content creation, their skills are at a really low level in regard to a lot of things. It's just at a really low level. So it could possibly be that you haven't developed your entertainment skill. Let's look at it sort of like a game where you have different stats and you put points into it as you level up. Think of yourself like that. And right now, your entertainment skill, if you have very little practice with it, it's all the way down at level 0. And well, in order to improve that, that takes time. It takes time, practice, and yeah, there's no other way around that. Time and practice. So you have to stream more and more, and as you go along over time, you'll develop that entertainment factor. So that one takes time. I'm sorry if that sounds a little harsh, but it is the honest truth. We all start out at 0 on that scale. Some people may be a little higher because maybe they're entertainers in their life. They're natural entertainers. They try to be entertaining in their life. And well, that may not be the case for you, and if it isn't, you're starting out at 0. Also, there is another thing, and that is some people cannot judge themselves in a way which someone else would. They judge themselves through their own eyes, and they're putting in their own experience into it, and well, you're a really bad judge of yourself. If you're judging yourself that way, you need to learn to be able to look at yourself from an outside perspective, and that takes time to be able to do that, a lot of time, before you get to a point where you could look at something you do and be at least somewhat accurate as to whether it is something that's good or not so good. So yeah, this actually reminds me of something I saw someone mention a while back. They had been talking about this on social media, and they were talking about this in regard to making videos on YouTube. And what they said is, they said, expect to make 100 terrible videos before you can finally create or make something that's even a little good. So basically, take that idea and we'll apply it to streaming. Make 100 streams, do 100 streams, and just expect them all to be bad. And then after that 100, you look back, and as you're going along, you look back as well, and you reflect, and you try to improve. And after the 100, well, hopefully by that time, you'll be able to look at your stuff and you've improved upon it. So that's what you'll want to do there. And yeah, maybe you're just not entertaining. Sorry to say it, but the honest truth. So moving on to our next one here now, our 9th mistake that streamers may possibly be making, is not learning from your mistakes. The experiences that you have occurring, you're not learning from them. You're not improving upon them. See, as you do these things, you want to look back on it regularly. You want to reflect on it, and well, there are some things that you may need to change, and there are some things that you may want to keep. You have to regularly look back. You have to learn to regularly do this in your life in general. This applies outside of streaming as well. But when it comes to streaming specifically, if you're continually doing something, and let's say you do it 100 times and it's not working out for you, you need to be able to look at that, recognize it, and well, stop doing it if it's not working out for you, or change it up in some way. Now, don't confuse it with giving up on something too soon, because there is also that on the flip side, where someone will do something once or twice and say, okay, I'm not having any success with this, it's clearly not working, I need to do something else, no, it doesn't work that way either. You have to put an effort in the first place in order to get to that point. See, you need to put in a certain amount of effort, constantly reflect upon it at certain points along the way, and then after doing it for a while, that's when you make your changes, and well, you pretty much go from there. It's just a cycle that constantly repeats itself over and over. You do your thing, you gain quite a bit of experience doing it, you look back, you make your changes, you do your thing again, you gain the experience, you look back after you've done it for a while, It's a cycle that continually over and over and over. And well, if you're doing things right, things will be going good for you. Every time you make those cuts, you'll constantly be improving. Sometimes you may make mistakes and you may look at the wrong things. It happens. But it's all part of the learning experience. You gotta give it time, and over time, you'll get better at recognizing these things. You'll learn from the experiences and the mistakes which you made along the way. And now for our final point here. This is number 10, and I'd say this is a pretty big one, as I do see it quite often. And number 10 is blaming other people for your lack of success. And this is done so often. Someone will say something along the lines of, if it weren't for so-and-so streamer, I would be doing well. If only my friend would host me more, I'd be doing well. I'd succeeding. If only my friend or someone that you met through streaming would come in your stream more and help bump your viewer count up, you would be making it as a streamer. And then there is another one where some people, they say, if only if they didn't have this type of streamer, a certain type of female streamer, I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about, but some people say, if it only wasn't for this type of streamer here, I would be succeeding on Twitch. Because what's happening is that streamer is taking all the viewers that would be coming to my stream. And let me just say, no. Please do not do this. Do not think this. This is not how things work. See, if someone likes a certain stream and you're thinking that that streamer stopping their stream, just leaving the platform, will automatically make those viewers come to your stream and like what you do, there's some really backwards thinking going on there. Because remember, each person is an individual and we're all different in our own ways. So just because someone likes that streamer over there who happens to be female, or that other streamer over there who happens to be male, that doesn't mean that because they're not streaming, those viewers will automatically come to your stream and like you as a person, your personality, and what it is that you're doing. It doesn't work like that. And if you think it does, you've got to work on your mental right there. You've got to work on your perception, your understanding of how these things work. So yeah, please do not blame others for your lack of success, because not only is it the wrong way to think of things, it's very off-putting. If someone comes into your stream, chances are if you start saying that someone else is responsible for your lack of success, you're not taking responsibility for your stream and how well it's doing and what you're putting into it, yeah, there's a good chance that person will look at you and they'll just leave. They won't say anything, or they may say something, but it'll be something that you won't like. So, yeah, number 10, don't blame other people for your lack of success. Take responsibility for your stream, and well, just put on blinders. Don't pay attention to what these other people are doing. If it's something that gets to you, just don't pay attention to it. Let them do their thing, and you continue doing your thing. So there you go. Those are 10 common mistakes, 10 mistakes that streamers usually end up making when they get into streaming, when they're starting out. So hopefully you can avoid those mistakes, or if you've made them, you're currently in the process of making them. Hopefully this video helped you out and you learned a thing or two, and you can improve, you can change. There's always time to improve and change. It's a journey. It's not A to B. It's a journey. It's one long road that you're gonna travel down. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Now if this video helped you out, I'd appreciate it so much if you can leave a like and maybe leave some comments down below with things you've learned from streaming. You can help other people out who are watching this video. Leave some advice, maybe things you've learned yourself, experiences you've had, whether any of these actually apply to you, and how you've improved. Maybe you improved before even seeing this video, or you recognize these things. Let me know in the comments. I'm sure plenty of people would like to read about that and hear about your experiences. So yeah, I'm Wolfie, and I'll see you next time. Oh, also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, bye.